Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Navs Effect podcast with me, your host, Naveen Ganglani. It's going to be a fun episode over the next hour. We are welcoming one of the standout young players in the PBA today, Anton Asistio, to the show to discuss Rain or Shine's upcoming PBA playoffs bid and also maybe look back in some of his days as an Ateneo Blue Eagle. I already see people giving love to the bucket hat. I must shout out my friends over at BN Sports for sending over this super cool hat. Also, some awesome stuff like a really cool jacket. I should be debuting on this podcast over the next few episodes. So, I'm going to send Anton an invite to come on the stage. We shall converse with him shortly. For now, we'll take a quick break, but do not go anywhere.
So he didn't know the reason until Phil Oil that we keep playing good against us now. We're kind of like their kryptonite, put it like that. We're a good matchup to them, and it just so happened to where that we've been able to get a win off great execution. But having that Phil Oil game back in my head, I wasn't really too worried about that or focused on that because of what we did. And we didn't even have our full team yet. But in that fourth quarter, they made the run. We knew it's gonna happen. And my job was to deny KQ the best I can and limit his opportunities. And at the end of the day, we made it happen. Grinding into our head that we match up good against him. That's all. He didn't know the reason until Phil Oil that we keep playing good against us now. We're kind of like their kryptonite, put it like that. We're a good matchup to them, and it just so happened to where that we've been able to get a win off great execution. But having that Phil Oil game back in my head, I wasn't really too worried about that or focused on that because of what we did. And we didn't even have our full team yet. But in that fourth quarter, they made the run. We knew it's gonna happen. And my job was to deny KQ the best I can and limit his opportunities. And at the end of the day, we made it happen. Grinding into our head that we match up good against him. That's all. He didn't know the reason until Phil Oil that we keep playing good against us now. We're kind of like their kryptonite, put it like that. We're a good matchup to them, and it just so happened to where that we've been able to get a win off great execution. But having that Phil Oil game back in my head, I wasn't really too worried about that or focused on that because of what we did. And we didn't even have our full team yet. But in that fourth quarter, they made the run. We knew it's gonna happen. And my job was to deny KQ the best I can and limit his opportunities. And at the end of the day, we made it happen.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed that short snippet from our episode yesterday on Monday. We talked to John Abate, aka Abate of the UE Red Warriors, fresh off their big time victory against the DLSU Green Archers. That was a really fun episode. So if you guys haven't checked that out yet, that is now up on all platforms: Spotify, YouTube, and playback, even Facebook. And in a few moments, we are set to welcome Anton Asistio to the show. I believe he is here right now. Once Anton is back on the stage, we can get to ask him about how Rain or Shine is preparing for the upcoming PBA postseason. At the same time, we also get to ask him about some of his days with Ateneo. So we're waiting to welcome Anton on the stage. Anton, are you there? Okay, looks like we have Anton here shortly. I think he's just muted right now. Anton, are you there?
Hello, hello.
Yes, I can hear you, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear, bro. What's up?
Fantastic. Hey, man, Anton, thanks for joining me. How are you, bro?
I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man.
Sorry,
You're
just
always
fixing this.
welcome. No problem, man. No problem. So, playoffs start tomorrow, Wednesday. You guys, rain or shine, you're taking on Magnolia. Quite a fire matchup right away off the gates. Almost like you guys didn't get a top seed or something like that, right? But that is the format that the PBA has for the Governor's Cup. How are you preparing right now? It's been a really good conference for you guys. How confident are you ahead of the postseason?
Syempre now we're feeling good because we finished our group as the number one seed, and I don't know when the last time that happened. So we're feeling good, but we don't really have that much time to uh, feel good about ourselves because we play already tomorrow, and yeah, it's against a tough veteran Magnolia team. So we'll see what happens.
Speaking of feeling good about yourself, you had a pretty decent game about a week ago, scoring more than 20 points, one of your best games in the PBA so far. You are fresh off a recent contract extension with Rainer Shine, upping for 2 seasons with the team once again. Knowing that you have that security long term, do you feel that's helping improve your game and your performance on the court?
Yeah, definitely, because I don't really have to worry about my contract expiring, so it really just helps me focus on playing and helping the team win.
Awesome, awesome. And you are helping the team win right now. You know, you have so many new additions to the team. You guys are so deep. So many guys really stepping up. Knock on one of them. Villegas starting to play. Keith Datu playing. You have a solid import. You're one of the rare teams this conference who have stuck with their import from the beginning. So you have consistency. And you have guys like you, Karakot, off the bench, helping out, providing what the team needs. Do you feel na you guys at Rain or Shine, you're as deep as anyone in the PBA?
Yeah, definitely. I actually feel that we're the deepest team in the league, and with the way Coach Yang rotates his players, he really gives everyone an equal opportunity. So yeah, I feel like we're really the deepest team in the league right now.
Definitely. And the record speaks for itself. I like that you mentioned Coach Yang because I'm curious, Anton, what does it take, especially for a young player, to earn Coach Yang Gao's trust and to earn minutes in his rotation? Is there specific stuff he looks for? Is it something that just comes with time on the long term? Or, what is the secret to getting those minutes with Coach Yang as your head coach?
For me, I think it's trust. Coach Yang, ever since he started handling rain or shine again, he said that he's the type of coach who will give everyone an opportunity. But then it's up to the players, like what they do with that opportunity. So if he gives you that opportunity, you have to make the most out of it and you have to perform. So I think that's one of the ways that you can actually earn his trust.
Fantastic. Great insight from Anton Asistio. And by the way, we will be taking questions for those watching right now. I did get a question from Glaza Siton earlier on Instagram. She wants me to ask this. She wants to know, Anton, how do you transition from being a shooting guard in college to more of a point guard in the pro level?
Well, for me, it was I actually played in the MPBL. So after my college playing years, I didn't enter the draft right away because I knew I had to transition from shooting guard to a point guard. So I felt like for me the best opportunity was to go to the MPBL and hone my skills as a point guard. So yeah, I think it was just being patient and really just getting more opportunities playing the point guard position.
What kind of experience is the MPBL experience in the Philippines? Because nowadays MPBL players get, a decent salary if you're one of the better players. Some might even say comparable pa nga to the PBA. Now, the lifestyle might not be as glorious as college or the PBA because you're playing in different arenas, sometimes empty arenas, you're traveling a lot. But the experience factor, what does it do for your game?
Um, I think it just adds to your experience. In the MPBL, there's like 20 plus teams. So there's a lot of games, a lot of opportunities to, learn, make mistakes, figure out like how can you be effective as a player. And sorry about that. The dog.
No, that's all good, man.
And yeah, at the same time, you're also playing against some ex pros and some who are actually trying to also make it to the PBA. So it's good competition, and at the end of the day, it's still a job. You're still getting paid to play and to win games.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do you feel you are a better player now than you were, say, like a year ago? And if the answer is yes, or even if the answer is no, what is the reason behind that?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a better player. Because I think it's because I approach the game na parang I always have. There's always room to improve. Like before in college, I was just known as a shooter, and then having to transition to becoming a point guard, I had to learn how to control the team, get my teammates involved, and every year I try to add different aspects to my game. And in the PBA, you can never be too complacent because every year there are a bunch of new guys who are trying to take your spot. There are only 12 teams in the PBA and only like 15 or 16 roster spots. So there's really no time to relax.
Absolutely. And the lifestyles are different also, diba? Now, I'm curious though, what are some of the things about the PBA lifestyle that those coming from college don't exactly realize right away? Like they only get to know it when they're starting their pro career. How different are the two levels?
Um, I think when you're in college, you're a little bit more distracted, because you have school, you have your friends and all of that. You have all these like endorsement opportunities, whatever, because of all the exposure, right? But in the pros, that's your job. It's your lifestyle, and at the end of the day, you have to perform because if you don't perform, anyone can replace you at any time. So you really have to take your craft seriously, and you have to really have this professional approach, diba?
So is that always in the back of your mind, knowing that at any point some guy coming up could replace me, take my spot, get my minutes, get my job? Is that something that always lingers in the back of your mind?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's a reality. And see, Coach Yang, he always tells us that no one here is irreplaceable. Anytime, some other guy can just come in, or I don't know, the coaches or the bosses might see someone that they like, and it could be your spot, but that's in jeopardy. So you always have to be on your toes.
Fantastic. I want to get to some questions now. First, a good question here from Tonyo. Anton, what are your thoughts about the 4 point line now that you've played a regular season with it? I saw you hit a 4 point shot in yesterday's game. Someone who's a shooter like you, it's is it beneficial? Do you like it?
Funny thing, that was actually my first 4 point shot this conference. Yeah, and it came at the last game, so I'm glad I was finally able to get one. But I have mixed feelings about the 4 point line. One is because as a shooter, it incentivizes me because the farther I shoot, the more points I get. But at the same time, at first it was confusing for me. Like, medyo malayo yung 4 point line eh. So when
Mm,
I'm spacing, when I'm used to spacing just like a few steps behind the 3 point line, now I'm at the 4 point line. So when I step in, it's kind of farther.
yeah.
So it took some time for me to adjust. But yun nga, I really have mixed feelings. Kasi it's new, but well, there have been some games like sino ba yun? Si Scotty Hobson, he won like 2 games for
Yeah. 2 game
converge
winner.
of 4 point shots, diba? So it's also good, but yun nga, I really just have mixed feelings about it.
So, what are the chances we see you pull up for a 4 point shot with 20 seconds left on the shot clock?
Depends. Maybe if I'm feeling it or if I'm on fire, maybe I'll just pull it. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe in the playoffs, we'll see. Question here from Fran. What is it like to be teammates with Gabe Norwood and Bo Belga? What advice did these two players give you that, you still remember until this day or you still use until today?
It's amazing being teammates with Bo and Gabe. I never actually thought that I would be teammates with them, and I'm actually very close to them. They're like parang kabarkada ko na rin sila. And that's what I love about them. They're very parang I feel like they see everyone on the team as equals. Not just because they've been in the league for 15, 16 years and they've had won multiple championships. They don't give us that feeling na parang they're superior over
Mm,
us. And in terms of advice, siguro it's just being patient
mm,
in the flow of a game. Kasi usually when you come off your college playing days, medyo nagmamadali ka pa. So in the pros, it's more of, execution, recognizing mismatches. So I feel like that's the best advice that they gave me. Is really kind of like slowing the game down, seeing things as they happen.
right, right. Yeah, being more mindful about everything that's happening, thinking the game, so to say. Do you feel that there are certain mismatches that work best to your favor? Again, like, do you like getting a switch against a big man? Do you like going up against someone your size? Do you like maybe going up against a wingman? What kind of mismatch do you like looking for?
Definitely getting switched on to a big man because I have a speed advantage, and most often than not I'll be able to beat that man. So I just have to see where the help is coming. So it's either I have a shot or I have a teammate who's open.
Fantastic, fantastic. Anton Asistio joining us, everybody. Good question here from Nico. It's a shooting question. Do you practice footwork when setting up your jump shots, like 1 to 2 seconds into a shot or hop into a shot? How do you practice that exactly?
Yeah, definitely. So when I shoot, I always practice. I'm a 1-2 shooter, if you know what that is. I don't really hop into my shot. So usually I'm most comfortable when I'm shooting left foot, right foot. But then
Mm-mm.
I also practice shooting right, left, and I also practice shooting off the hop. Kasi you'll never know in a game, di ba? Kasi yun nga, people know that I'm a shooter. So definitely on defense, they're gonna try to disrupt my rhythm. So I have to be able to set my feet as quickly as possible if I wanna um, get a good shot in rhythm. So I practice everything, left, right, left, into the hop, all of that.
Fantastic. Anton Asisio joining us, everybody. Send in your questions on Playback, Facebook, or YouTube. Anton, you were in college for quite a bit of time, so you were able to garner some experience while you were at Ateneo as you enter the pro level. So you've seen different years of how college basketball players act, how what they represent, what they stand for. And in the world nowadays where everything is going by so fast, and everything is transitioning at such a quick pace with how the game is growing, with how off the court stuff opportunities are growing, you can sense that the mindset of players are different, not just in terms of how they play, but also how they carry themselves off the court. So you were there in the early years, the early 2010s, and you have still some grasp of the college program nowadays in the Philippines. What are the key differences in 10 years when you first entered college and how you see college basketball right now?
Hmm. I think now the players are definitely more skilled. I don't know why. Maybe it's part of the evolution of the game, but players are definitely more skilled now. Like the big men can put the ball on the floor, they can bring the ball down, they can shoot. The guards, like, I don't know, I've see some moves that I've never really seen before. So yeah, it's definitely a more skilled group of players now in the collegiate ranks. And yeah, I think more endorsement opportunities for them
Mm-mm.
also. I don't know. There's a lot of money going around in the the college level now. Like it's crazy. Like I had an allowance before, but some of these guys they're getting like salary, probably
Salaries.
make even more than I do. So it's crazy. But I guess that's a good opportunity for them. But that also comes with a lot of um, responsibilities and a lot of pressure. Because if you're getting paid that much, you have to perform. Basically, you gotta win.
Can you give us an idea what was your allowance like when you were a college player in Ateneo?
My allowance at first it was like 8,000 pesos.
A month?
Yeah, a month. And
Sheesh.
then my last year or last 2 years, it became 13,000 pesos.
1-3.
Yeah.
Bro, some
So,
players are
allowance
getting
lang
like
talaga. Allowance lang talaga.
pang lunch mo na yan for the ano
Oh,
eh,
pang
no? Like pang
lunch,
lunch.
pang gas. Minsan pag may sobra, pang date.
Oh my god, no, that's so true, man. Nowadays players get paid like some of them get 6 digits a month, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think Kiefer's allowance was back in the day? Just because I want to compare, like, what would his allowance be today? His allowance today would probably be like closer to 6 figures. But back in the day, do you have an idea how much the stars of college basketball would get? Not just Kiefer, but like guys of other teams too. Like, what was the max back in the day?
I honestly have no idea, but maybe at that time, maybe there were only probably one, maybe two players who were getting six figures. Probably. I'm not sure. I have no idea. This is just me guessing. So, I don't know. It's crazy nowadays.
For sure, bro. Do you kind of sometimes wonder if you missed your perfect opportunity to capitalize in college
I
basketball?
do.
And I'm sure
I
many of your pro friends feel the same, right?
Yeah, I do. I sometimes I talk to my teammates so like, "Oh, paano kaya kung nasa college tayo ngayon, 'di ba? Like magkano kaya yung allowance natin? Like siguro mas malaki naman ng konti, 'di ba? But uh everything happens for a reason."
For sure. And many of these college guys now, they're benefiting off the high allowance, high opportunities and the monetization because of the standard that many of you former basketball players set back in the day. So to some degree, maybe you guys should get a commission or something like that. Just putting that out there. Nico here from Ateneo says we'd welcome you back with open arms. Anton would probably be one of Ateneo's leading scorers right now. Speaking of college basketball and the pro level, a few months ago at the Kadayawan Festival in Davao, you guys faced LaSalle twice. One of them was entertaining. It was a close game. The first game, LaSalle nearly pulled it off. You guys won at the end, and then the second game felt like you guys were motivated to show that college teams shouldn't be able to beat pro teams in the finals, and you guys blew them out. What was that experience like? Going up against LaSalle, a college and pro team going at it, and was there extra motivation in that finals to kind of prove that pro teams were still better than college teams?
Yeah, definitely. That was actually a very fun experience. Me personally, at first, I didn't really want to go to that tournament because I was like, why don't we just play here? Like, why do we have to go all the way there? But in hindsight, I was like, that was a really fun experience. Playing against two other pro teams and then playing against LaSalle. As an Atenean, up to this day, I still don't want to lose to LaSalle. And at that time, that was really in the back of my head. Like, okay, we're playing a college team, but hey, this is LaSalle. Like, I still don't want to lose to these guys. So that was definitely added motivation. The fact that we were a pro team playing against a college team and that it was LaSalle. So I
Mm.
definitely didn't want to lose.
The 2016 season when you guys faced LaSalle, and then the year after 2017 when you guys beat them in the finals. What was it like going up against those LaSalle teams? With Embala, with Teng, coached by Aldin, and those guys love to talk their trash. That was for sure. They would dunk on you and let you know about it. What were those battles like?
That was hell. That was hell. Because, like, they knew they were the more superior team. Like, they would always beat us in the preseason by like 20, 30 points. So they knew they were good, and they let us know that, they weren't gonna let us score or whatever. So that was hell. But then, it was also fun because it was motivation for us, because yun nga, still Ateneo Lasal rivalry. So we definitely wanted to beat them. At that time they set the standard. Like everyone had they had the target on their back. So everyone wanted to beat them. But yun nga, it was fun, because we had to figure out how to beat that mayhem defense of theirs. And I'm very glad that we were able to, get one over them. I think 2017 we beat them. So
Yeah.
it was fulfilling, definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna get to some questions here. I have a question I want to ask you, but first I want to get to a few questions sent by some of our viewers. First, from Sarah. Sarah wants to know, Anton, what is your Coach Yengyao moment?
Coach Yeng Giao moment. Siguro wala pang like a super big one that he really
Yeah.
got on me. But it's more of maybe just like small, mga patikim pa lang, mga konting pasigaw pa lang. Siguro maybe kasi sometimes, he wants me to, he really emphasizes on, moving the ball. So sometimes nasisigawan niya ako pag medyo tumatagal sa akin yung bola.
Mm-mm.
Pero parang wala pa naman yung talagang tumatak sa akin na, yeah, na grabe. Wala pa naman.
you know,
Hopefully,
I'm curious.
walang dumating in the future.
I'm curious about something because when you're in college, medyo okay pa nasigawan ka, di ba? Or pagalitan ka ng konti because you're in college, you're learning. But let's say, for example, you're a pro and you're in your 30s, you're an adult, you're a grown man, you're no longer like a young man, right? And like some other grown man is screaming at you, getting mad at you. How are you able to kind of like be like, sige na nga, I'll just take it on the chin? Because of course, as like a grown man yourself, you're like, well, I don't want someone else screaming at me, screaming my head out, right? So how are you able to kind of control your emotions in that regard?
I guess one is it depends on the person. There are some people who take that negatively, and some people who are fine with that. Gladly, I'm one of the people who, I don't take those things personally. I just um, try to get to the root of what he's really trying to say. Hindi ko na iniintindi yung sinisigawan niya ako, but like, ano ba yung mali ko? Or what should I do? Why is he getting mad at me? What is he trying to correct? For me, I think that's what helps me not, take it personally and just try to understand what he wants me to fix.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, of course, and there's always room for improvement. Another question here from here we go. Yes, from Manila Gloria, I believe. When did you realize you can make it to the pro league, especially since you were once a team B player for Ateneo?
Probably my last year in college. My biggest dream talaga was just to play in the UAAP. I just wanted to win a championship for Ateneo. I wanted to make it to Team A. I wanted to be, part of the rotation. So I never really saw, life after college. But then, yun nga, after siguro my last year or my last 2 years, I was like, you won a championship, medyo mabango yung pangalan ko. Why not try it, malay mo, I make it to the pros, diba? So, I guess I was just like, tuloy ko na rin siguro. Yeah, and thankfully, I'm here.
Did you have a backup plan in case you wouldn't be a pro? Was there something in mind already you thought you wanted to do post college if you weren't going to play pro basketball?
I actually didn't have a backup plan. If ever, I just wanted to finish my studies and then bahala na. Bahala na kung ano
Bahala na.
gawin ko. Yeah.
TikTok
As long as
dancer
I
ka na
get my
lang.
degree, pwede. Artista na lang din siguro ako, di ba?
Pwede pa, bro. I don't think it's too late. Do you have any drafts on your TikTok you haven't posted yet?
Nah, no, 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 none.
Maybe we'll see it one day. Good question here from Akio. What makes Coach Yang Yao unique and what sets him apart from other coaches? I honestly feel like he's the most misinterpreted coach, but definitely one of, if not the best head coaches in the Philippines today. What do you think, Anton?
Yun nga, like what I said earlier, the thing that makes him unique is he gives all of his players a chance. You may not be starting one game, the next game he's gonna start you. Or you may not even see the floor one game, and then the next game he's gonna play you 15, 20 minutes. And this is like from the first to the 16th guy. Ah. So, as a player playing for Coach Yang, you just have to be ready for your opportunity because you're definitely gonna get it. And he'll tell you that. He's gonna tell you a day before or 2 days before a game na, oh, start ka. So you can get into that mindset na, okay, this is my chance to show him na if I'm on the floor, like I can produce, I can be
Mm-mm.
effective. So I think that's the biggest thing kasi there are some players in the league who are good, but then they don't really get an opportunity to show that because either they're on stacked teams or I don't know, baka hindi sila masyadong gusto nung coach. Eh, 'di ba may iba silang gusto. So I really feel like that's what um, separates Coach Yang from other coaches.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for that answer and great question. Akio, okay, we'll get back to the questions shortly. I want to ask Anton some questions here, but thank you. Keep sending in your questions, everybody. Anton, nowadays we see a lot of players playing panalay basketball, ligang labas. I mean, this isn't new. Back in the day when you were in college, people were already playing this. Diba? Nowadays, we just have cell phones, social media, and it's so much easier to post. First question, were you ever invited back in the day to play panalay or ligang labas basketball?
Never.
Never. But
Never.
were
Yeah.
your teammates invited? Did you know your teammates who were invited to play?
In Ateneo, I don't think so. Parang hindi ata uso sa amin yung ligang labas nun eh. And yun nga, I
Interesting.
never got an invite also. So, yeah.
Interesting. Well, just so you know, sometimes some players get paid 50,000 to play one game now
I
in
heard.
Panalay.
I heard. Siguro nung nasa MPBL na ako, that's when I mean, I knew about mga ligang labas when I was in college, pero I never really thought of playing there. Pero siguro nung nasa MPBL na ako, so, okay din yun, 50,000 one game, like, not bad. Di ba?
Not bad at all for like 2 hours. But what do you feel about these college players, especially those na nag-residency or those who are actually lined up for their teams, playing these panalay games sometimes? Because for me personally, my concern would be, a lot of these courts sa cemento kayo naglalaro eh. It's not like proper wooden court. I mean, long term, if you keep playing these cement courts, your knees are going to get hurt. And you could be more susceptible to injuries like isang tapilok, bad landing, and suddenly your career might be in trouble. But at the same time, I also can't fault the kids who need the money to be like, yeah, if I'm gonna get 50,000 pesos for playing 2 hours, that could take care of my family, that could take care of my lunch for a month. So where do you stand in this regard?
I agree with both of your points actually. One is, lalo na if you're on residency, like, you don't want to risk getting injured. Diba? Kasi nag-residency nga, you should only be practicing with, the team or your team, diba? But at the same time, siguro kasi nanggigigil na rin sila. Like, syempre, they wanna be in game shape, diba? They wanna keep their
Mm-mm.
skills sharp. They wanna keep the mental aspect of their game sharp. So you can't really blame them also. Siguro, yun nga, you just have to be careful. I mean, not to get injured. And yun nga, siguro also understanding that maybe some of them really need it. Diba? It will go along, if maybe 50,000 or 30,000 will go a long way for their families. Some of these college kids already have their own families. Diba? They have kids, may mga asawa na sila. So, well, me, I try to see it, both ways. Pero yun nga lang, there's always a risk, di ba? Tapos, syempre, pag, kunyari, medyo sikat ka na player and you're playing sa mga ligang labas, matcha-challenge yung mga ibang kalaban mo sa'yo, di ba? Baka yung iba gusto ka pang tirahin. So, yun lang
Mm-mm.
yung risk factor doon. So, at the same time, you also have to be careful.
For sure, for sure. Do you know any friends who ever got in danger or trouble for playing in outside leagues? Because sometimes, di ba, may mga kwento na, may gusto makipag-away sa court, may gusto makipagsuntukan, lalo na yung mga pupusta. So
Yeah.
some players bet on these games, may mga odds yan, tapos kung panira ka sa winnings nila, magagalit sila. Have you heard any stories like that?
Parang so far, wala naman. Thank goodness. Like,
Mm.
I don't want to be part of that. Parang wala pa naman akong narinig.
Okay, okay. Well, now there are a lot of questions, and some of these questions are really good. So I'm going to get back to the questions. I want to get to this right away because this is a good question from Tonyo. He says, as a diehard Blue Eagle, what is your honest and no holds barred thoughts on Mason Amos leaving Ateneo and moving to DLSU?
Ah, man, I was afraid someone was gonna ask me that.
Tonyo asked the question
Ah,
everybody
man,
wanted to
why?
ask. Huh?
Okay, for me, okay lang naman na he, sought uh, a different opportunity. As an Atenean lang, medyo bad trip na he chose Lasal. Yun lang for
Mm.
me. But I have nothing against players seeking, other opportunities or better opportunities elsewhere. For me, what I didn't like about it was, well, honestly, I'm not even sure about the story, but it was, what I heard was the way he left.
He didn't
Parang
tell
medyo,
anyone.
he didn't tell anyone or he lied. I don't know. But for me, yun lang yung issue. Kasi in Ateneo, we really have this culture of, being a family, having a brotherhood. And, we can't do anything if your brother wants to leave kasi maybe he feels like he has a better opportunity elsewhere. Pero yun nga lang, sana he just did it in a better way. Yun lang yung masasabi ko. Kaya I think that's what most people didn't like. Just the way that he left Ateneo. But not the fact that he left. Although sayang din naman kasi he's really a good player. But, I mean, it is what it is.
What would your reaction have been if you were a teammate? Because you're reacting from as an Ateneo Blue Eagle alum, right? Someone who's part of that bebop tradition. But let's say you were teammates with a guy who you went to war with for a season, and then you found out through the public that he was actually transferring. Would that have really pissed you off?
I would have been mad. I would have probably confronted him.
Mm.
Maybe or maybe just send him a text of my disappointment.
Disappointment. That same night,
Yeah.
many of you Blue Eagles, former, current, posted, Instagram stories and posts, not really Twitter, more on Instagram, about many of you pictures of your time as Blue Eagles, your brotherhood, the Bebop tradition, and, along those lines. Correct me if I'm wrong, that wasn't planned, right? It's not like you guys got together in a group chat and decided, sige, mag-post din tayo. It was just a few people decided to do it and then everyone was like, sige, sasama din kami. Tell us about that.
Yeah, definitely. Yun nga, ako I just saw, sino ba yun? Si Matt ata or si Mike. They just posted and then they put the hashtag Bebob. And I already knew because I heard the news. And yun nga, we didn't talk about it. Parang nakigaya na lang din kami. But it wasn't, for me, it wasn't us taking shots at Mason or whatever. It was more of us showing solidarity to the people that he left behind.
Mm.
Yun lang naman yun.
Interesting, interesting. Of course, of course. Crazy though. It's crazy for you guys that it was LaSalle, right? Like if it was
Yeah.
UP or NU or even FEU, it probably wouldn't have been the same. But was it the
Yeah.
fact that it was LaSalle that just added an extra sting to it?
That definitely played a factor, for sure.
Good question here from Tonyo. Follow up. Would you have cut off communications or blocked him on social media or blocked his number like how his other teammates did after it happened?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure, for sure.
For
See that
sure.
That collegiate pride. Do you feel that's it's not the same now? Like back in the day, that collegiate pride, that Ateneo Lasal pride, like when you're wearing an Ateneo jersey, you just don't like Lasal the moment you wear an Ateneo jersey. Nowadays, people say it's different. Guys are more friendly with each other. Do you notice that too, or do you think that's overestimated?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's different now. Well, kasi during my time, yun nga nung teammates ko sina Matt, sina 30, ano kami, we were true blue kami. So since grade school, high school, college, we really didn't like Lasal since we were
Mm-mm.
kids. So medyo natural na sa amin na that rivalry. So I guess it's kind of different now because most of these players are Phil-Ams or some are recruits. Parang sa Ateneo, sino lang bang true blue ngayon?
Lazaro,
Lazaro, pero si
Bahay
Lazaro
to
ata
some
high school lang
degree.
eh. Bahay.
Yeah, yeah,
Dapat
yeah.
si LeBron, but he's injured. So si LeBron na nga lang talaga yung true blue dun eh. So yeah, I guess it's kind of different now also. It's not the same as it was during my time or even the times before us. It was really it's like we really hated each other before.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you for your thoughts. There's a request here from our guy Enzo. He wants you to do the "oh baby" statement or something like that. I wonder why.
Oh
Enzo, have
baby.
you? Yeah, wait. Let me read this properly. Um, was it
Oh
"oh
baby.
baby"?
What?
I don't know. That was his request. Have you ever said that in public before?
Oh
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
baby.
Request for Anton. Say "oh baby" on stream.
Who's this?
Enzo Rubio. He's also an Atenean. I wonder
And
why.
no,
Ah,
no,
so
no.
you
I know
guys
that.
know each
I know him. I
other.
know him. Yeah, yeah. I know him. I know him. He was
So is there a story behind that we don't know of?
yeah, that was back in high school. Mga kalokohan lang yun nung high school. I don't want to do that. I'm way past that. Maybe in private.
Way past that in
Yeah.
public. Okay. Hey, good question here from Easy Brody. Who is your favorite to win UAP this year? Be objective. UP or DLSU?
Ba't walang Ateneo?
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that. I knew
Ba't
it.
walang
Uh,
Ateneo?
sige, sama
Hindi.
natin Ateneo. You have Ateneo winning the championship?
Honestly, no. I don't think so. Gusto ko lang
So,
kasama sila sa choices.
syempre, of course. I mean, understandable, right? So, do you think it's UP or LaSalle?
mm, I don't know. I've seen UP play. They're looking really good right now. And I played against LaSalle. And they are the defending champions. So, I'll say LaSalle. I think LaSalle is capable of going back to back. But for me, hindi sila nakakasiguro sa UP. UP is looking really scary right now. They're really motivated and hungry, and they really look like they want to avenge their loss last season. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm actually looking forward to their matchup in the first round. I want to see how it goes.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that first matchup in the first weekend of October is going to be very, very exciting. It's going to give us some ideas of what to expect if both teams face each other more towards the end of the season. Okay, let's get to some more questions here. Any Coach Tab stories that you could share? That's a good one.
Coach Tab stories. Ano ba? Like, Coach Tab stories.
What's your favorite Coach Tab story?
Favorite? Ito, siguro for me, ito na lang. Because I don't know if you know, but diba he made us go into like a boot camp before,
Was this in
like
Aurora?
in Baler, yeah,
In
where
Valeria?
he basically just
Trained you guys like
made,
military servants, right?
yeah, he nothing basketball related. He just wanted to make us uncomfortable the whole
Mm-mm.
time. So I went through that. I think
Sorry, wait. What were
twice.
some of the drills you guys had to do in these boot camps, bro? Like,
One was we had to run at like 5 a.m. It depends. He made us do like I think a bunch of tests to determine like how far you were gonna run on certain days. So if you did well on the test, you were gonna run a shorter distance. So yeah, in the morning he would make us run. I think the most was maybe 6, and then some were 5, and then some were 4 kilometers. So
mm-mm.
that's in the morning, and then we'll rest for maybe an hour or two, and then he's gonna make us do like a bunch of drills in the beach. He would make us play games. Like minsan parang tug of war. There's one drill he would one game he would make us I think he made us play frisbee. So iba-iba naman, and then we'll take a break, we'll have lunch, and then in the afternoon he'll make us do sprints.
Hmm.
Yun, sprints, and then after that he would make us do something else. I think team game ba, or he'd make us do like a bunch of exercises. So it was like that for like 5 days, and we had to like cook our own meals. Like the people there, they couldn't help us. We had to cook our own meals. So if you messed up your lunch or your dinner, sorry ka na lang. Like it's either you don't eat or whatever, 'di ba? Bahala ka na lang. But then yun nga, anyway, back to the story. So it was really hell for us. Um but then I remember, I think that was the finals. It was the finals, probably last few possessions na. And it was a tight game. And then we were in a huddle, and it was a timeout. And then Coach Tab was giving directions, ganyan, blah, 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 he was saying ganito, ganyan. And then he looked at us, all the five of us, and he was like this. He was like, remember your training. Remember Baler. And then after that, so we won. And then after that, we were like, wow, Coach Tab really made us go through all of that just so that he could use that line during the championship. And I was like, I guess it was worth it because we ended up winning the championship.
Did you feel the same way like a year later when you had to do the training camp again? Or were you like, oh God, here we go again?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Okay,
Everyone's dreading that. Like
good
the week before, like everyone's dreading going to Baler already.
good question here from how many days was that Baler training camp? How many days did you have to do that consecutively?
I think that was like 5 days, about a week.
Every day the same
Yeah,
thing?
no, it was really hell.
Holy shit.
It was really hell.
Bro, were there people who cried? Like yung naiyak na sa sobrang hirap?
I think there were some people who cried. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Really?
It was really hell. Like I don't know. You have to experience it to to
Did you ever
understand.
cry, Anton? Did you
I
ever
didn't
cry?
cry. I felt like dying though, but I didn't cry.
What would Coach Tab's reaction be if he found out one of the players cried after a training camp like that?
I don't think it would matter to him. Or I would just laugh.
My God, that's Coach Tab for you. By
Yeah.
the way, since you guys all had to cook your own food, sino yung pinakamagaling daw magluto?
No, it was all teamwork for us.
Oh,
Sino ba?
okay.
It was probably one of the dorm boys who would take charge of cooking, and everyone would just help in.
I see. I
Yeah.
see. May mga oily food daw ba parang sa UST?
Wala naman, wala naman.
Okay, good question here from the YouTube from Kim Playmaker. The season 80 finals game 3, the one where you guys won the championship. That play where Isaac go hits a 3-point shot. How was that designed? Was that designed specifically to go to Isaac, or was it a broken play that just ended up with Isaac?
Sorry, which one was this again?
The Isaac go dagger 3 when you guys won the championship in 2017.
Oh, no, I think that was a broken play na ata yun. I think that was a broken play. And then they set, I think it was a two-man game with 30 and Isaac. And I think 30 just made a good read. He made the right play.
Mm-mm. Wow. So it was like 30 making a pass first play,
Yeah,
a team
he
oriented
really.
play.
I remember he really drove down the paint to make the defense collapse, and he pivoted, and Isaac was wide open.
For sure, for sure. And that ended up being arguably the biggest shot, probably the biggest shot that started your dynasty that season. Good question here from Paolo. How about your halftime buzzer beater? Do you still remember that?
Oh yeah, of course, of course. How can I forget that?
And that, what a big difference that ended up making in the game, right? Like, what did it
Yeah,
feel when? Did you know it was going in when you let it go?
no, I was hoping it looked like it had a good line though. But then when I caught it, also I had good rhythm, and I kind of had the feeling the inbounder at that time was Mike Neto. I kind of had the feeling Mike was gonna pass it to me because it was only like point 0.9 seconds left, so he couldn't really like get to a layup. So it had to be like a catch and shoot.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now we have a few more minutes here left with Anton. Let's get to some more questions from Ron. Ron wants to know, Anton, is there additional pressure for rain or shine to win it all since you guys are now bannering the flag for independent teams in the PBA against the SMC MVP farm teams?
I don't think it's pressure. I mean, obviously, there's always gonna be pressure in basketball, but I don't think that's added pressure for us. I mean, rain or shine has always had a winning culture. It's definitely a winning organization. So if ever there's any pressure, it's pressure that comes from ourselves because yun nga, we're coming from a winning. We know we're playing for a winning organization, a winning culture. So we definitely, want to repay our bosses. We wanna bring back pride for Rain or Shine because I think the last time they won a championship was about probably 8 years ago,
Long, long
2016.
time ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time ago, so it's long overdue. And I really feel like we have a good chance this season. So hopefully we pull through, but we have to take it one game at a time, one series at a time.
For sure. For sure. Let's see any more questions here. Ooh, this is a good one. We saw a lot of players from Ateneo depart recently because of the grades, the QPI, which is a very tough requirement. How tough is it to reach that Ateneo QPI grade requirement for you to continue playing with the Blue Eagles? Did you ever have any personal struggles yourself with that QPI
I did have my struggles, and that's already coming from someone who's been in
in
Ateneo
the Ateneo
basically his
system? Yeah,
entire life. But then it's not the thing about Ateneo is you just really have to study. If you
mm,
make the effort to study and ask for help, do some tutoring, talk to your profs or talk to your classmates, you can pass. So it's you know, really about being disciplined and actually making an effort. But if you don't study, you're definitely not gonna pass. Although there are some people who are just naturally
naturally.
good at school
Yung mga
na they can,
nakakainggit no?
yeah,
Hindi
they can
mag-aaral
get,
pero mataas yung
oh,
grades.
they can get by by just skimming through their notes or just listening in class, and they're gonna get like an A or a B plus. But then if
Anton,
you're an
yeah.
athlete or if you're not really academically gifted like them, you have to put in the effort to study.
Tell me the truth. Did you ever cheat on a test in college?
Oh yeah. Siyempre. Not all the time. Pero siyempre, oo.
Wait. Which one was? What was the time where you knew you were screwed and you absolutely just had to? And how did you do it?
Um, siguro, maybe not in college. Yung naalala ko talaga was high school. This is actually a funny story. So high
Okay.
school, ano ata to Araling Panlipunan. So, yeah, Araling Panlipunan. So may katabi akong classmate na he's really smart. Siya yung sinasabi ko parang naturally smart. He'll
Ah.
just listen in class, di masyado mag-aaral, and he'll get high
Quick
grades.
question. Yung seatmate nito, pinili mo ba or inassign sa'yo?
No, nagkataon lang na doon talaga siya sa tabi ko.
Nagkataon. Galing mo
Yeah.
ah. Very, very
And
opportunist.
actually, yung maganda sa kanya is, nagpapakopya siya.
Talaga.
Yeah, nagpapakopya talaga siya. Kasi barkada ko yun eh. He's my friend. So, nagpapakopya siya. So anyway, there was this one test na, ewan ko, ba't ba hindi ako nag-aral eh. I didn't study at all. So I was like, uy, I'm exposing myself, but I was like, uy, may kopya na lang ako, hindi ako nag-aral. He said, oh, sige, sige, sige. So, kopya ako sa kanya, ganyan. So, he was just showing me his answers. So, multiple choice,
Right,
ganyan.
right, right.
And then, when I was almost done, siguro last few questions na, sabi ko, sige, ibahin ko siguro yung last 3 or 4.
Para hindi
Last 3 or 4,
halata.
para hindi halata. Okay na yan. Okay, edi. So, a few days after, our teacher, he returns our test. So, he's like, okay, there are some who failed, there were some who did well, and surprisingly, meron tayong isang nag-perfect. Tapos, so, is there anyone who can guess? Like, sino nag-perfect? And then walang
Okay.
nag-guess. And then he gave me the paper. Ako yung naka-perfect. I was like, what?
Wait, your
Tapos,
last 3 answers na pinalit mo were the right answers.
oo. So,
Oh my
ako,
God.
perfect. Tapos yung kinopyahan ko, -3. So, siya pa yung nagkamali. So, I think
Oh
after
my
that,
God.
sobrang na bad trip ata siya. Sabi, hindi na kita papakopyahin ulit.
Pero barkada pa rin kayo.
Kabarkada, he's still my friend. But yeah, that was funny.
Bro.
Nagulat
Did
din
you
ako.
ever get caught cheating on a test?
No, I didn't. I did not.
Bro, damn. But you did it in college also. Sometimes,
Yeah,
right?
I did. Sometimes,
Uh,
sometimes.
You know, I have to say, I love your honesty. I love how straightforward you are. So, because you're super straightforward, I'm gonna ask this now. Bro, what's the craziest thing you ever did to impress a girl?
Craziest thing?
Like, most adventurous or out of the box thing that you ever did to impress a girl, man?
Hindi ako ganun eh. Yung I will go like super out of my way. Pero
Mm-mm.
siguro super effort na sa akin is, let's say, if I take someone out to dinner and then, let's say, I bring her flowers. Ganun. Siguro ganun na. Pero nothing like extravagant. Siguro if I bring her also like out of town with my friends. Yun
Mm.
na. But nothing, nothing,
Mm.
nothing crazy. Eh, 'di ba kasi nga yung allowance ko 8,000 lang eh. Wala masyadong wala masyadong
Bro, pwede
panggastos.
na pang Jollibee.
Oh,
Yung
hindi naman.
39ers, di ba?
Pwede na siguro mamu. Pwede na mamu.
Mamu. O pwede,
Malaking bagay
kalahati
na
ng
yun, nasa
8,000
college.
mo, ubos na sa
Oh,
mamu, bro.
malaking bagay na sa college yun.
Sa bagay, sa bagay. So, nagmamamu ka nung college ka?
Maybe like once or twice. Not
Once
not
every so
often.
often. Um, I know you're tight with Kiefer. You guys are really good friends. When he was here in the Philippines the last
Oh
few
yeah.
weeks, he and you spent a lot of time with each other. Give us your wildest Kiefer story. Kasi alam naman natin medyo, let's just say adventurous din si Kiefer, right? He likes to have fun. He enjoys his tequila from time to
Oh
time.
yeah, definitely.
he enjoys his
What
tequila. Give me your Kiefer story, bro.
wildest Kiefer story? I wouldn't say wildest. And I'm not gonna expose my bro like that. Pero siguro pinaka nagulat ako was nung inaya niya ako sa clubhouse.
Okay. Okay.
No, yun lang. I was just surprised because parang clubhouse, puro mga bata nandun eh. So I was like, Keith, ba't dyan? Bakit hindi like Revel or Yes Please? Clubhouse talaga. So yun lang, medyo nagulat. Although I get why. Well, he explained to me why naman. So I get why. And
Wait, ano yung explanation? Ano yung explanation?
he just wants to have a good time. Kasi parang sa ibang places ata, medyo, parang ano ba?
Hindi
Parang
energetic.
yabangan eh. O hindi, parang
Oo.
yabangan eh.
Pretentious.
Sa clubhouse kasi mga bata, so good vibes lang. They just want to have fun. Good
Yeah.
music. So I get it.
How did the night go nung pumunta kayo sa clubhouse? Kamusta naman?
Not good. Not good. Let's just say, my friend or my cousin eventually had to bring me home using my car. So
Wait,
yeah,
what?
not good.
What time did you wake up the next day?
I think I woke up at like maybe 10 or 11, and when I woke up, I was, nasa bahay na ako.
Masakit yung ulo or okay naman?
Wala ngang hangover eh.
Damn!
Yeah,
Must be
but
those
like I was
athlete
surprised. Like I
genes.
was just at home already. Yeah,
Oh,
never
that's a
again.
great way.
Never again.
Great way to spend the night. Okay, let's do some more wholesome topics before we let Anton go here. But we're very thankful he's super honest about his clubhouse experiences. Of course, note and advice for the future generations. Um, okay, Kiefer or Thirdy, what's the difference between the two guys as basketball players and guys off the court?
As basketball players and off the court, basketball wise, I think they're both just really blessed. They
Mm.
have God given
They have those
talents
genes.
and the genes. So mahirap kalabanin yun. And at the same time, si Kiefer is a very high basketball IQ player. Actually, even 30. Before, I think kasi yun yung advantage ni Kiefer. I mean, I think 30 is the more athletically gifted one, and Kiefer has always been the more like high IQ player. But I
Skills,
think,
IQ, yeah.
yeah, but I think after Coach Tab, si 30 medyo shorten the gap between the two of them. So medyo I think they're both at the same level, and they're angat na angat talaga sila. And off the court, I love those guys. I've been teammates with them since we were in grade school, both of them. So I've really seen their evolution as basketball players and as human beings. And the thing that I love the most about them is their humility. Parang for people who have had so much success on and off the court, I never felt na it got to their heads. That they never made me feel na, no, they're better than me or mas mataas sila sa akin. So, yeah, I love those guys, and I'm glad na they definitely deserve everything that they have going on for them right now. And I wish nothing but the best for them.
Was there a difference in how they went about training and their work ethic and workout routines? What were the key differences?
Okay, si Kiefer, um, smart worker siya. Like he's not gonna go yung parang all out for 1 hour, 2 hours. Pero meticulous siya about his workouts. Like there's just certain moves, certain spots, and he's more of change of pace, the timing. C 30 is just a beast. Like I don't know, he'll wake up at 4 a.m. workout, lift weights. He won't even sleep, and then he'll go to practice. And then after practice, he'll just probably eat, rest for a bit, and then he's gonna do skill workout. And then he'll sleep for like maybe 4 or 5 hours, and then do the same thing all over again. So for me, yun yung
Jesus.
difference sila. 30 is just a beast.
30's a beast for
Yeah.
sure. And congratulations to 30 playing right now with the Dubai Basketball Club. Kiefer Avena, on the other hand, about to debut with Yokohama in the B League. And we're very thankful to Anton Asistio here for his time. Anton, thanks so much for joining us. Always a pleasure. Best of luck in the PBA playoffs. You want to make a prediction before you go? How far you guys get in the postseason?
Nah, I don't want to jinx it. I'll keep it to myself, bro.
All right, totally understood. But the next time I have you here, I hope it's when you're a PBA champion for sure. Thank you so much, man.
Hopefully, bro.
Much appreciated. God bless and best of luck to you.
Thank you, bro.
All right, that was the episode, everybody. Thanks to everyone who joined us. That ended up being such a fun episode, and all credit to Anton Asisio for being so game, answering the questions, being so thoughtful about his answers, and also, enlightening us with some great stories that I'm sure many of you are excited to hear about. So, tomorrow, Wednesday, we've got a big episode. A UP Fighting Maroon will be joining us. That will be at about 10 p.m. So, a late episode, late show. But if you're awake, why not? You might just enjoy. Thanks again to everybody. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, on Playback, on Spotify, follow on Facebook. More episodes to come and a lot more fun to come. God bless everybody. Stay safe. Thank you.